Jimmy Fallon had Conor McGregor on. Conor McGregor is a liable sexual abuser, just like Donald Trump. He paid a woman $250,000 for sexually assaulting her. And you had him on your show, Jimmy Fallon. So I want to ask you a question before I get to the details here. If Conor McGregor had sexually assaulted your wife, would you have him on your show? How about your daughter? How about your mom? Because, hey, you're just an entertainer, right, Jimmy? You're not there to judge people or be political. You're just an entertainer. There is no way in hell you would have that man on your show. But it was somebody else, right? So you didn't give two fucks. And that's the problem with this country. Now, I'm going to read to you the details of this because it's important to know what kind of audience and what kind of guests that Jimmy Fallon has on his little shitty show. This is adult content. So if there are some victims out there, I do not want to traumatize anybody because I have family members, unfortunately, that were victims. So I want to be respectful of your privacy. She met McGregor at a Christmas party. She accused him of forcing her onto a bed, choking her, and making her fear for her life. A paramedic treated her, said he had never seen such intense bruising on a victim. He did this because he was angry about losing a Las Vegas fight 2 months earlier, and he took it out on her. He's not a man, he's a coward, they told jurors. A devious coward, and you should treat him for what he is. During her testimony, the victim had to take several breaks to compose herself. This is the man that Jimmy Fallon had on his show. But you know what that's really sick? This is a microcosm of this country. Because men as a majority, don't believe women, and it's fucking disgusting. 77 million people voted for a rapist. Just think about that. A man who was actively defending child molesters, who is such a pitiful, miserable, pathetic piece of shit that he cheats on his wife with a porn star while she's nursing their 2-week-old son. Now, I don't know about you, but I was at home taking care of my wife for months afterwards, changing the diapers, feeding the baby, letting her rest, and this piece of shit's out there having sex with Stormy Daniels. You're like, yeah, he's an alpha male. Put another notch in his belt. Yeah, he's a real man. He's a little bitch, and so are all of you. Every single one of you that voted for him is a little bitch. I don't care if you're my mom, my dad, my grandma. I don't give two fucks. This country has fucking lost its morality. This has nothing to do with policy. You people said it didn't happen to me, just like Jimmy Fallon. Didn't happen to my mom. Didn't happen to my daughter. Didn't happen to my grandma or my aunt. I don't give a shit. That's their problem. It's the empathy. I just had a conversation with my wife, so I'm talking to somebody. And she said, the thing that really bothers me? It's the lack of empathy in the United States of America. Because they don't give a shit. Unless something affects them. Why does something have to affect you before you give a shit about somebody else? Why? I come up here and I make videos all the time because I have privilege, okay? I'm a white dude, but I speak about racism and white supremacy all the time. I speak about women's rights all the time because I'm not a shitty person. I'm not a selfish prick. I actually care about other human beings. That's why I do this. That's the only reason I started doing this. I'd rather be fly fishing or playing chess or sketching. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit by while this kind of shit happens and not say anything about it. We will not remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends. That's exactly what Martin Luther King said. And the reason that women don't come forward right now is because men like me, as a majority, don't speak up. I found out about this story because Christina Ricci had posted about it, and so did Pink. And I'm sick and tired of every time a woman is treated like shit, that it's always the women that speak up. It's the same ideology when a black person is treated like crap or called the N-word or discriminated against. It's always the black people that have to fight. Why aren't the fucking white people out there? Why aren't for the black community? Why aren't the men speaking up for the women? Why? Why aren't you? And when I hear people say, well, Paul, we're just going to disagree with MAGA. No, the fuck we're not. No, we're not. Because if you voted for a rapist, we are not the same. You are not coming to my house and having Thanksgiving dinner. And too many of you aren't willing to do that. You're not willing to hold them accountable. You don't want to talk to your MAGA family because Thanksgiving's going to be weird. Ooh, I don't want to talk to them. Christmas will be weird. Ooh, I'm going to see them at a baseball game. So you're fine, just like Jimmy Fallon, sitting next to a person that voted for a rapist. It's because you don't have the balls to speak up and call it out. That's why. people like Conor McGregor still have a platform. That's why this little bitch like Donald Trump is president. Because not enough men are willing to be uncomfortable and do what I'm doing and call it out. Because you want to stay in your comfort zone. And I guarantee you this, anybody that had a daughter in Epstein Island, that was raped by Donald Trump, that was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump, or Conor McGregor, you would be pissed and you would be agreeing with me. And until more people are pissed off and angry and as empathetic as I am, ain't nothing gonna change in this country. Have a good day.